Right, so today we are back for more mothers-in-law from hell. They hate their daughters-in-law, they want to replace them in the hearts, minds, and sometimes even bedrooms of their son-in-law. Get ready, because this video is the kettle that will make your blood boil. Let's just jump straight into the first one. Husband's mum ruined our gender reveal. I can already tell exactly what's going to happen. It's a girl. And the mum jumps in the way of the daughter-in-law. Okay, let go. By the way, so weak from the husband. You can tell he's looking up at his wife being like, this is too much, I want to be hugging you. Lovely from the mum that she wants to show her love, but wait your turn. Wait for the time. But the husband should just be like, Mum, not now. You're not the one carrying this baby. Move away. This is about my wife's time. And that's just short term. Like, he should be having a stern word with the mother for doing this. Very weird. Like, whole room looking at the couple, running in and grabbing the son off his wife. Just very bizarre. Oh, it's really weak. If I was the wife, I'd be fuming.
There you go. You just completely stole our moment. No, come on then.
What do you mean? Acting like she doesn't know as well. Like, don't play dumb. At this point, if you really got overwhelmed in the moment, you could be like, yeah, I completely get it. I'm really sorry, I messed up. Stole that from you, wasn't fair. Sitting there going like, what do you mean? It makes it feel like it's even more malicious, like she did it on purpose.
It's not like I'm worried, I just want to address it because I don't think this was right. I'm excited that you had your best. You didn't allow him to hook me. I'm his wife. You didn't allow him to hook me.
Yeah.
Are you sure if you get like what's the problem?
Oh my goodness. I mean, the relationship is definitely not great here. You can tell. This is not the first time they've disagreed about something. I don't think she likes her at all. She knows what she's doing and gaslighting her into being like, you hug him every day. You hugged him every day for like, what? Probably several years, maybe even like 15, 20, and probably hugged him very frequently and have hugged him from time to time ever since. Like, you've had a lot of hugs too, but this is not your moment. This is really irritating. This is already pissing me off. I'm tempted to end the video.
Can you just calm down? We're gonna have a little baby girl.
It's fine, it's fine.
Who's saying it's fine, by the way?
Come on, everyone's happy. Come on, let's...
I hope that's not the husband off camera being like, let's not make this... Stand up for your wife, you fucking moron!
I don't think this is right because you just literally threw yourself at Dane, ended up on the sofa. He couldn't even like hook me.
Right, listen, are you a little bit hormonal?
Oh my god.
Why is everyone staring at me?
That is mental. As a woman as well, to pull the like, are you being hormonal? Someone who's been through pregnancy, like, surely you can realise how patronising that would be. I don't know what I'm saying, like, oh, surely she should realise. She knows. She's evil.
Honestly, we've had a nice day. We'll tidy up and
Yeah, and you ruined it. What a weakling he is, though. Like, bro, have a backbone and say something. Like, he could tell from the look to his wife that was weird. He should be sticking up for her. And even if she is being hormonal overreacting, which she's not, you're the reason that she's got those hormones pumping through her body. Be on her side. Toxic mother-in-law, weak son, very annoying. At this point, I can't even ask you to stick around. I just hope that you get some sort of weird enjoyment out of this. The kind that I do. Like, my blood is boiling, I'm pissed off, but somehow I enjoyed that. And you know what? I bet it gets worse. Next up, mother-in-law announced my pregnancy on Facebook. You know, at some point, we've got to take Facebook off our parents. You know, when we were playing games too much as a kid, you spend too much time in the Xbox, your parents be like, right, enough now. I feel like when it gets to the point where your parents start wearing tinfoil hats and crying and getting all emotional at AI-generated images of Jesus hugging dogs and interfering in relationships that they shouldn't be poking their nose in, we should be like, right, we're taking this away from you as well. And this is a prime example. My husband and I told my parents and his parents today that we're expecting our first baby. Congratulations, training exercise 54. We have been looking forward to telling them since we found out, but wanted to go to our first ultrasound and ensure there was a heartbeat and all looked well before telling them. Very valid. I mean, usually you find out that you're pregnant way before the end of the first trimester. That's when a lot of pregnancy loss occurs, so a lot of people do want to wait. And hopefully their wishes will be respected, right? We are very social people, and I knew close friends would notice I wasn't drinking. So we shared who we felt comfortable telling over the last month or so since finding out. So we told the parents today, and my mother-in-law was excited, but made a comment about us telling my parents first. Jealousy about the other parents, that's not one we've had before. When finding out, we had told a few friends and my sister-in-law who was present at us telling them. She said, I guess we were the last to know. Okay, you know what? I kind of get that. Becoming grandparents, really big thing. Having your kids find out they're pregnant, you would want to know pretty early on. You'd want to know first, like finding out they told their friends first. There's something a bit special about knowing first, I feel. So I can understand an initial comment just expressing a very human reaction to the mild disappointment. But hopefully it ends there. She knew that I was still anxious to reach the 13-week mark, the first trimester we were speaking about, and that we were going to tell a group of friends tomorrow, and we're very excited to do so. The perfect opportunity for sabotage. We were staying with them. They live about an hour away, and my husband and I both went to bed. About an hour after going to bed, I got a few calls from my sisters telling me my mother-in-law posted on Facebook and tagged us. So that not even like does it just go out to the mother-in-law's friends, it comes up on the timelines of their friends being like, oh, your friend just got tagged in this, telling their circles as well. That's what makes it even more evil and so obvious that the mother-in-law is trying to do something just far more egregious than just spreading good news. And tagged us announcing our pregnancy. She knew we were asleep and waiting for them to fall asleep so that they can't be like, oh my goodness, quickly take that down before too many people see it. So it's up for the entire night. Evil. Mother-in-law from hell indeed. We got up, told her off and left. As in left the house. She said, I thought you'd told everyone. She was then hysterical, saying that she didn't think we'd care. She took the post down. Didn't think we'd care. Ask first. Don't tag them. Don't wait for them to fall asleep first. It's a massive thing. Like, you know how much of a big thing it is. It's a big thing to you too because you got upset that you didn't find out first. So you know how big of a thing it is. So don't assume. It's so frustrating. I'm so livid. Valid. She's either manipulative or so self-absorbed that she doesn't see how messed up her post was. Normally she isn't the most toxic and I can ignore her attention-seeking comments, but this put me over the edge. Quite rightly. That is just evil. Just robbing that experience of telling your friends, seeing their faces light up, and on purpose as well, because it almost certainly was. This is just straight up evil. It really is. And now you can be like, well, we were justified to tell some of our friends and family about this because you would have spoiled it. And next time when they really are the last to find out, you can be like, guess why? Do you remember what happened last time? And they can have no complaints. They really can't. Oh, we've got a post straight from Facebook up next. Amo mama nostalgia. What the hell does that mean? My mother-in-law tried on my $3,000 wedding dress and ruined it. She refused to pay, so I used a secret weapon. Oh, I feel like we're going to get some justice, so I'm actually going to enjoy it. This will be a nice little bit of respite after these infuriating first few posts. All right, so I, a 26 female, and my fiance, 28 male. Is this just taken from Reddit, or is this how people speak on Facebook as well? I'm planning an October wedding. My future mother-in-law has been pestering me about my wedding dress, but declined when I invited her to join me for shopping. I went with my mum and found the perfect dress. Expensive, but worth it. $3,000 for a wedding dress. Is that a lot? I have no idea. Yesterday, I came home from my mum's house to find my fiance and my dress missing. I immediately called him, knowing he must have taken it to show his mum, as she had been demanding to see it and refused to accept pictures. This, again, it seems planned. It really does. And maybe she even did this on purpose and was like waiting for the son to be alone. When he returned, I was horrified. The dress was damaged. The zip was broken, the fabric stretched, and it was clear his mum had tried it on. I mean, the mum is gonna know her dress size and know whether she fits into it or not, right? Like, you know you'd be busting out of every single orifice in that thing. This was not an accident. When I demanded that my mother-in-law and fiance pay for a new dress, she laughed and refused to replace it, saying she would only pay to fix the zipper. That is mad. Do you not get some sort of insurance for something like this? I feel like if I'm dropping $3,000 on a wedding dress, I'm going like, well, there's not that long until the wedding. Stuff could go wrong. Maybe take an extra like £200 out. So worst case scenario, some shit like this happens, you know, I can take it to them and they'll fix it free of charge. But that is not in any way to say that she's at fault for not doing that. Just a thought I had. I was furious and desperate, quite rightly. But 2 days ago, something unexpected happened. Ooh, my fiance's sister came to me and said, I was there and tried to stop them. I'm so sorry. Wow, the sister was there and tried to stop them as well, and they continued. So, I mean, it just was planned in advance, wasn't it? This is exactly what the mother-in-law wanted. And even weirder, wanted her son to see her in his wife's or fiance's wedding dress. Kind of weird underlying implications is she making there? Anyway, I digress. But I'm glad I was prepared for this. Here, this will make my mum pay for everything. Oh my gosh, and there it is. I'm guessing that's the mother-in-law in the dress with a massive smug smile slapped across her face. That is crazy. I really do like to give the benefit of the doubt to people. Often do it probably too often, a lot of you guys say. But this, like this victory pose, like she knows what she's doing, right? And actually, I don't really know, but like this isn't normal, is it? I feel like it's safe to assume not anyway. Right, okay, so this looks like this post ends here, but the full story is here. So there was Janet squeezed into my dress, laughing as she posed in front of her mirror. The fabric strained across her body, the zipper clearly struggling to close. She needs to pay for what she did, Rachel said, and these pictures are the key. I listened closely as Rachel outlined exactly how I could use the pictures to teach Janet a lesson. Armed with Rachel's photos, I confronted Janet again and told her I'd share the photos if she didn't pay the $3,000 she owed me for ruining the dress. Wow, a full refund. I mean, I thought she was expecting to, you know, pay like a couple of £100 for it to be fixed, but you know what? Fair enough. You wouldn't dare share those, she said, examining her manicure. Think about what it would do to the family. I hate this kind of manipulative speak, like when someone does something wrong and then someone else is like, oh, people are going to find out, and then it's like, oh no, well, it will have this horrible consequence for everyone else. It's like, well, it's not my fault for telling people, it's your fault for doing it in the first place. You should have thought about what it would do to the family before you squeezed into that dress, you little weirdo. I looked at her perfect makeup, her expensive clothes, her carefully cultivated image of the doting mother-in-law. Try me. This is so weird. And then an AI mid-journey generated image of a confident woman standing with her hands on hips. Wow, AI really is everywhere these days. How bizarre. That night I created the Facebook post with shaking hands. I uploaded Rachel's photos along with the pictures of my ruined dress. I wrote about how my future mother-in-law had tried on my wedding dress without permission and destroyed it. How she'd refused to take responsibility or replace it. I mean, the mother-in-law was like completely in the wrong, and like exposing it is pretty valid, but like this is a declaration of war. A wedding dress represents so much more than just a piece of clothing, I wrote. It represents dreams, hopes, and trust, all of which had been destroyed along with my dress. And she got emotional as well. Like, this is whipping up emotion in the reader on purpose. Damn, I did not think it would get taken to this level. The next morning, Janet burst into our apartment without knocking, her face red with fury. Take it down, she screamed, waving her phone in my face. Do you have any idea what people are saying about me? The truth? I'm being humiliated. My friends, my church group, everyone has seen it. You humiliated yourself when you decided to try my dress without permission. Exactly. It's not, the humiliation isn't the exposing, it's the fact that people know what you did. Mark, she turned to her son, tell her to take it down. Mark looked between us, his face pale. Mum, maybe if you just offered to replace the dress. Replace it after what she's done. Janet's voice reached a pitch that probably only dogs could hear. Never. I looked at Mark, really looked at him, at the way he shrunk from the conflict, the way he'd let his mother walk all over both of us. As well, there's definitely a thread as well, like, obviously the mother-in-laws are often at fault. The son-in-law, the fiancé that doesn't stand up to his mum or say anything, and like, leaves it to his fiancé to write posts about his mother-in-law or stand up to her. Like, what is going on? These spineless men need to take a lot of responsibility themselves for all of this. You're right, Janet, I said quietly. The dress doesn't need to be replaced. I slipped my engagement ring off my finger and placed it on the coffee table. Because there won't be a wedding. I deserve better than a man who won't stand up for me, and better than a mother-in-law who has no respect for boundaries. Wow, literally straight after saying that these men are spineless and need to do better, she leaves him. I mean, how true these stories are, who knows, but they're bloody entertaining. And like here, we've got what I assume is the photo, but it says for illustrative purposes only. I hope this isn't just like a nice, normal woman who's like trying her wedding dress on a couple decades down the line, having a nice photo is like nostalgia, looking back at the memories, and then her her photo is being used as the front cover for this story, just completely misrepresenting who she actually is. Or maybe it's AI. It doesn't look AI, but AI is so bloody good these days. Who can tell? All right, next. Am I the arsehole for walking out of the airport when I saw my husband's mum standing there with her luggage? Oh my goodness. So I, a 30-year-old woman, don't have the best relationship with my husband's mum. Since day one, she's tried to make remarks and compare me to her. What is going on? She then tried to get on my good side and started overly praising everything I do. I mean, nice attempt at redemption, I guess. And sometimes even copying me. Like that one time when she literally dyed her hair purple, just like mine. Creepy. And when everyone pointed out how ridiculous she looked, she actually blamed me and accused me of trying to make a joke out of her. What kind of logic is that? So anyways, my husband and I took 2 weeks off work to go visit some places out of the country. Tourism, in other words. Okay. Thing is, I was the one who saved up for and arranged for the trip. My husband was responsible for booking the tickets. My husband's mum wanted to come along and threw temper tantrums when I said no. What? Coming along and third wheeling on your son and daughter-in-law's holiday is weird enough as it is, but throwing temper tantrums when I said no. Why is she acting like she's the kid? She called, texted, sent people to talk me into letting her come, even threatened to call the police and make up some complaint to get us to say if she can't come. What the is going on? My husband said we should just take her. After coercion, intimidation, blackmail, that's mental. Again, a spineless husband. This is mother-in-laws from hell, but this is also husbands from hell. What is wrong with these guys? But I told him he was wrong to tell her about the trip in the first place. If you feel like you can't tell your mother or mother-in-law about a holiday because it would be such a big deal if she can't come, you need to have words with her. Like there is something seriously not right there. Like she needs therapy or something. Like, oh yeah, we're going on a trip together to the mental asylum where you belong. You're not coming with us. He gave me an ultimatum, said he wouldn't go if she can't come. And I told him I'd gladly call his bluff, which made him take his words back and say, fine, shock, the spineless man has no spine. Fine, I'll tell her to stop it because we won't take her. If you're the wife in this scenario, are you not just getting the craziest ick? Having to call your husband's bluff because he won't speak to your mum, who won't let you go on holiday without her. This is just nuts. Things got quieter, suspiciously quieter. The day of the trip came and we got to the airport at 2 p.m. My husband was walking ahead of me and was looking left and right like he was looking for someone. Is this sicko in on it? I asked him and he didn't respond. He led me to the waiting area and first thing I saw was his mum standing there with her luggage. I froze in my spot. I felt a cold wave washing over me and I was fuming inside. Honestly, the switch would go off. She and my husband were hugging and that's when I quietly turned around and started walking towards the exit. My husband followed me while shouting at me to stop. He tried to stop me, but I told him off the harshest way possible. He tried to say I was overreacting. Overreacting as well, like how do they just not get it? And that his mum was there anyway. Oh my God, as well. And just lying and it's so pathetic. And I should let it go and not mess the trip up for us. And flipping it and guilt shaming. I mean, there's some weird predictability about it. Like, I bet you could just be like, if I could just take 30 seconds just to think of all the ways this weak-willed man could just like bottle it and flip it on me and like all this kind of stuff. You could just so see it coming. You really could. Like, it's just somehow not surprising. I told him he and his mum could still go and that I was going home. Too right. I went home and sobbed into my dog's fur for several minutes. Turned out he booked her a ticket without me knowing. Oh, right, so he was lying. An hour later he came home yelling. Why did it take him an hour to follow her? He should have been snapping at her heels being like, what have I done? I'm so sorry. An hour later, he came home yelling and raging about how pathetic and spiteful I was. You know, I saw the word pathetic. I was picturing it going like, I can't believe it took him an hour to realize how pathetic and manipulative and weird it was for him to lie and like not stand up to his mum and get her on board. He's saying how pathetic and spiteful she was. Do you know how mental that is? How pathetic and spiteful I was to walk out and go home because a holiday she paid for between her and her partner was being hijacked by his mother after she said that she didn't want the mother to be there and they don't have a great relationship. It's just mental. I told him he caused this to happen. He said that I was being so hard on his mum. It's ridiculous. I refused to fight anymore, but he kept on berating me and then called my family to tell them that the trip was cancelled and that it was because of me. This is the part where you go, this is too far. You're actually just a dick and like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life with you. It's one thing finding you icky and weak. It's another to think that you're a weirdo that does shit like this. My family said that I shouldn't have ruined it for myself and should have sucked it up and done my best to enjoy it. And the family not seeing it. I hope the family read this and get the full picture. I really hope that that's just, they've heard one side, they've been a bit unfair by not hearing both sides out, but like that's their natural reaction. If they've heard this entire story inside of it, I mean, I guess in some ways we're only hearing one side of it. I mean, maybe she has also done some mental stuff, but from what we have to go on already, this is just nuts. Did I overreact? Well, from what we know, again, one-sided story. Who knows how the truth went down, but I'm struggling to see how this could possibly not be just not an overreaction at all. I don't want to call the divorce card, but divorce. You told your boundaries, you said no, she crossed it. Your husband told you he would tell her no, he lied. Tried to pin you in a corner by not saying anything, bring you anyways, and got upset because you refused to be a part of his little trip, and then to berate you. He's not a good man and he needs to go. This is just, this is not someone you want to spend the rest of your life with. Yeah, it was stressful and very exhausting. The OP's very obviously like going like, okay, I'm not going for the divorce. She's kind of ignoring all of that. Like saying all the behavioural stuff, but very much avoiding divorce. And you can tell people are like, come on, like sometimes the divorce card needs to come out. And this is one of them. It's one of those stories you hear where you're like, even if that like situation alone wasn't enough, like the type of person he is and she is, like shit like this is just going to happen again. You're better off getting out whilst you can. You deserve better. Start finding him. Wait, what? Mother-in-law hires someone to throw red paint on bride's dress. This is insane. Disaster. I was having doubts about posting this, but now that it's turned into a Twitter thread and there's IG reels about it, I feel like it's fair game. So she's heard the story and is telling it. So this poor girl, I don't know her, but she's from my mum's hometown and news has spread, was hated by her mother-in-law, as well as by the sisters and brother-in-law since the beginning. Okay, this is raising a slight red flag. Like the mother-in-law could obviously be a nutty mother-in-law, sister-in-law and brother-in-law. That suggests that there may be more grounds for the hatred to be valid, but not necessarily, so let's keep going. They threatened her repeatedly, okay, not a good start from the family, made multiple social media accounts to harass her, and when confronted by the husband, they denied everything. At least the husband confronted them this time. The brother-in-law offered her a blank check to leave her husband and the family for good. Boyfriend at the time. This makes me really want to know why the brother, sister and mother-in-law hate her so much. Like, they must have their reasons. Even if they're not good reasons, I still want to know what they are, because I feel like it's going to help judge the whole thing better, you know? Oh, but here we go. Now, as I said, I don't know her, but what I have heard is that she's a lovely person and wouldn't hurt anyone. All of this hate comes purely from her socioeconomic status. No way. Apparently her husband's family wanted him to marry someone rich. This is slightly rarer. You don't really hear it from this side round. Like the family wanting the male to marry into a rich family. She was so graceful throughout the entire ordeal. I wonder if there are some really strong cultural influences at play here as well. When mother-in-law heard that the couple got engaged, she faked a heart attack and had to be hospitalised. Wait, is in faked that having to be hospitalised? Or faked a heart attack and ended up in the hospital anyway? She blamed her son and told him he'd have to cover all of her medical costs. Right, well, if you're already saying you're worrying about money, why do that? It's not exactly going to make him turn around and go, oh, well, the love of my life isn't that wealthy. I'm going to have to cover my mum's medical costs. I'm going to leave her for someone wealthy in the hopes that, like, down the line, my future wife will be able to help me with these medical bills. The day of the wedding, mother-in-law, brother-in-law and sister-in-law all refused to attend, which, fair enough. But apparently they hired someone to throw red paint on the bride's dress right before walking down the aisle. I mean, I feel like if you really, really disapproved, you say all of that, get it out the way. On the day of the wedding, you just go like, you know what? I've said my piece, not my place anymore. They've made their decision. If it's a wrong decision and they end up with lower socioeconomic status, who cares? If they're happy, hopefully that won't matter at all. It's got nothing to do with me. It's their decision. It's now my job to be there for my son or brother. Not turn up. And certainly not hire someone to throw paint all over the bride. 3 men ran up to her, 2 with cans of paint and another recording, and covered her dress in red. The photos are of the aftermath. At first, the guest thought the red paint might be blood. I can't even imagine what that must have felt like. Bride says she initially felt as if it was water, but then saw everyone's shocked faces, and her friends were trying to reassure her that she still looked beautiful. She says the worst part of it was looking at her mother's face, because initially she thought she had been physically hurt. You know what I would have absolutely loved? For like the person recording to have been live streaming, for her to have got dunked in red and be like, you know what, I'm not letting this get to me at all. Fuck you, you're not going to ruin my big day. And just got married anyway, and just like, they laugh about it, they have their kiss, they look at the camera and be like, screw you. Your evil mission failed. The bride gracefully changed into another dress. Oh, there was a backup dress, come on. She had to go home for all of this, but all of the guests waited for her at the church. She changed into a lovely gold floor-length gown and continued with her beautiful wedding. Yes, come on, this is exactly what I was hoping for it to happen. The groom's family also found out where the photos would be taken and sent an anonymous tip to the police, saying that they could find drugs there. Oh my god, it's not over! And that the groom might be in possession of them. The police arrived and all of the guests present were searched. The groom was close to being taken away in handcuffs. There is suspicion that the brother-in-law bribed the police, but thankfully in the end that didn't happen. After that, the wedding went on without issues. Yeah, I'm wondering if this took place in a country where police are easier to bribe, families care more about the socioeconomic status of the family the son is marrying into. Yeah, this whole thing just seems so odd. Mother-in-law's house has since been egged. More redemption again. She is hated by this whole town. Wow, so what? Everyone found out? I mean, it would be kind of obvious, right? Like, everyone there would be like, obviously the 3 people that are protesting by not being here, that like obviously would be here unless they really didn't want to. And then the police thing happened and the paint thing happened. Obviously they were behind it. Sister-in-law and brother-in-law have been questioned by their friends and have denied everything, but do not deny that they loved hearing about it. Right, so maybe it was all the mother-in-law's doing. Father-in-law seems to just do whatever his wife says. Another spineless husband. He fired the groom from the family business, but he was then given a job by his uncles who love and support him. I'm so glad he's got some supportive family. That's so nice. Groom's family all claim to be super religious. Okay, yeah, this is sort of what I suspected. I think there's definitely a big cultural influence going on here. Lastly, after the wedding and before the honeymoon, the groom's family stole his passport and visa. They also tried to bribe the travel agency to ruin the trip. Fortunately, they didn't work, and bride and groom went on their honeymoon successfully. They have managed to like really handle this well, like getting married anyway, getting a nice dress, everyone finding out and thankfully being on their side. This is just, and obviously ending up on their honeymoon, thank goodness. Oh, and we got some photos of the bride. Wow, that is a lot. Oh no. Wow, they fully wrecked it. Oh, and here's the photo of them actually getting married. That's so sweet. And she did have a really nice dress. Not white, but I'm sure she doesn't care. She looks lovely. Damn, I'm glad things seem to somewhat work out there. Yeah, infuriating story, but a somewhat nice ending. Alright, next up. Mother-in-law desperately wants to be in our relationship. Got a text from my mother-in-law today. I appreciate you and my son are partners in a team, but I need to be included too. Really don't like the need to be included. Like, if she was like, I'd like to be included too, maybe not even like I'd like to have a say, but like I'd like to give my opinion on things like maybe where the kid goes to school, how to raise them, given I've already raised kids, stuff like that, I can understand. Mother-in-law is going to have a lot of wisdom and experience of raising kids. Their opinion will be important at times, but saying I need to be included too, what? And what is the context here? No, I did not respond as I don't believe it warrants any attention. She's divorced and it always gets weird this time of year. Mine and my husband's anniversary month and Valentine's Day. Yeah, I mean, if she was like a new grandmother, like I'd sort of understand where she was coming from, but being like, I need to be included in your lives around anniversary and Valentine's Day, weird. I get she's lonely. I mean, it's hard to not feel sorry for her, but you just can't justify this. Damn. Oh, what? To clarify, this was in regards to us doing our taxes without consulting her. She's just nosy. That is literally the last thing I was expecting. That's even sadder than her just being lonely. Alright, next. Mother-in-law wants to spend a week with hubby right after our wedding. What, she wants her own little honeymoon? My mother-in-law is an absolute loose cannon, completely clueless of what to say where. I love the term loose cannon, by the way. I need to start using that more. She's always been a bit too much, but has been on one lately with our wedding coming up. This is how I used to speak. This is really weird. On one and loose cannon. Her latest brilliant idea is that my fiance should stay with her for a whole week after our wedding. How soon after? A week as well. Is that really necessary? No honeymoon, no time as a married couple. So she does mean straight away. That is mental. Just him and mummy dearest spending some quality time together. I really don't know how my father-in-law puts up with her, honestly. I can understand if he's like close to his mum, maybe lives at home before they get married and go off to each other or whatever. Just being like, I want to spend some time with you before, you know, to kind of properly say goodbye. But a week immediately after getting married, like, know your place. You are not the priority here. We live in New York. His parents live in another state, and her reasoning is, I should get time with him before you take him away. Honeymoon can wait for a week, so don't be selfish. As if she's there like, don't hog him entirely to yourself, like he's mine. Oh, just weird. By the way, he and I are already deciding the flight booking dates for our honeymoon. It can either be the very next morning or 2 days after the wedding. Then she hits me with, and this will be the perfect baby making time for you two once he comes back. It's the same thing again. Like, why are you even thinking about that? Why are you thinking about your son having sex and making babies and stuff? And as if like a week of him spending time with you is gonna like really get him in the mood for baby making. It's just sick. A whole week apart will build anticipation. The last thing you're gonna be thinking about is shagging while spending a week with your mum. Oh, this is just, makes me feel sick saying it. Ma'am, seriously, I just sat there nodded along, and now she thinks after our wedding, she'll probably be setting up some weird mother-son bonding activities or whatever. Meanwhile, the second our reception dinner is over, Harvey and I will be in Austria getting a head start on those grandbabies. Hell yeah. Grandma dear is so desperate for. Okay, well, at least the husband's on the wife's side here. They just need to tell her though. Can't wait for her to FaceTime him on day 3 of bonding week, only to see Hallstatt in the background. Not the first place you think of when you think romantic countries or honeymoon destinations, but I was there a few years ago and it's beautiful. It really is. Alright, next. Am I the arsehole after no longer allowing my mother-in-law's friend to babysit my children after she started calling them her babies? As in the mother-in-law started calling them her babies, or the friend? I mean, the mother-in-law is weird enough, but at least she's the grandmother. Let's find out. So I, a 26-year-old woman, am the mother of 2 kids, a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old. Oh no. 3-month-old or 3-year-old male? 3-year-old male, probably. 3-year-old male. That sounds like he's a fully grown adult man. Like 3-year-old male in a suit going to work. Little bro's an accountant already. My husband, a 27-year-old male, and I both work office jobs. And their son is their boss. Due to this, we need someone to watch the kids whilst we aren't home. We mostly have babysitters, but a few months back, my mother-in-law, a 48-year-old woman, suggested that her friend could watch them for free. I told her it wasn't necessary since we could afford a babysitter just fine, but she insisted. I didn't really see any harm in it after she kept asking, so I gave in and her friend, a 45-year-old woman, started babysitting our kids. Everything was perfect for the first few months. She was always on time and always fed my kids and put them to bed at the time I suggested. All going pretty well so far. I'm guessing they did a good background check. Friend of the grandma probably gives you a bit of extra trust. They've got a pretty solid vouch. Sounds like it's going fine. My kids seem to really like her, also a bonus. But about a few weeks ago, my oldest came to me and asked me if I was their real mummy. God, that's like something out of a horror novel. I was confused and asked her what she meant. Well, turns out my mother-in-law's friend had been telling my kids that they were her babies. And when they protested, saying that they weren't, she would yell at them, saying that I was just their money maker and that she was their real mummy. Again, they were her babies, as in her being the mother-in-law or her being the mother-in-law's friend. Both super creepy, but imprecise language. Really hard to tell. I told my husband about this and he hired a babysitter on the spot. Valid. That was just so weird. Then me and him called my mother-in-law and told her about the situation. We told her that we weren't going to have her friend over anymore because it made us uncomfortable. We even told her what my kid had told me. Well, my mother-in-law didn't take it well. How are you the grandmother and listening to that and not being like, you're right, that person's sick in the head. They should not be around my grandkids anymore. Over the phone, she started screaming, saying that, quote unquote, my friend doesn't have any kids or grandchildren, so your kids are the closest thing she's had to it, and you're going to take that away from her. She's sick. She thinks that the kids are hers. She's like role-playing mummy and making the kids believe it. That is so messed up. My husband and I tried to calm her down, but after a bit we just hung up. I received a photo of my mother-in-law's friend crying on my mother-in-law's couch later that night. I feel horrible for making her upset, but I don't like how she was telling my kids these things. So valid. I understand that she doesn't have kids, but that doesn't excuse her behaviour. But for my peace of mind, am I the arsehole? Not at all. You literally haven't done anything wrong, like, even close to the line. That genuinely is like the start of a horror novel. Like, it's the type of thing where that you'd read about in the newspaper, and then the babysitter ends up just killing the mother and then just like running away with the kids. And like 18 years down the line, the kids are like, hold on, remember when we were young and like we had that weird thing with that woman who claimed that she was our mum but then disappeared, and now our mummy is, you know, claiming to be a mum, but we didn't really look like her. And then they uncover this entire thing, like the story unfolds. That was absolute waffle, but like she's nipped that in the bud very early on. It would be the kind of thing that would keep you up at night, just being like, how deep does this sickness go? Is it just an innocent thing where like she's lonely and hasn't got kids and wants to call them her kids, and like it's weird, but like it's just a bit sad and we just need to stop that? Or is she just like seriously messed up and like this is just the beginning? When it comes to your kids, I think you've just gotta, you're better off safe than sorry. Oh, next up, most unhinged mother-in-law. Me right now, because my son's little girlfriend thinks she is going to be a good mum while she has no money, house or car. Try again. I'll take that baby when it comes. Wait, the first time I read this, little girlfriend, I thought they were like 6 years old. Like, obviously she hasn't got a money, a house or a car. Like, this is a joke, right? But I actually think this is patronizing language. Like, oh, your little girlfriend, who's probably like, what, early mid-20s, and she's cooking her for not having money, house or a car, which, by the way, most of us in our 20s in this generation haven't got. But I'll take that baby once it comes. Is this like emotional incest because of the like son, like she wants to be the girlfriend, or a weird kidnappy thing? Or maybe it's both. Oh my goodness, the account was so outrageous I thought surely this is just a troll / rage bait account, across my mind. But then I went and found the pregnant girlfriend in the comments and went to her account. She posted receipts of the mum coming at her via text message. The girlfriend has apparently contacted the police already and shown them the text messages where the mum is threatening to make the baby stillborn and rip it out of her. What the f***? This has just become a crime. Not that kidnapping wasn't, but I think that I was sort of going along the implication of like, oh, I'm going to be financially supporting the baby, maybe it'll live in my house, which is weird, but like that's one thing. This, let me tell you something, you little C-word. You are the nastiest POS that ever walked this planet. If you think you're having that little nasty ass baby, I won't do everything I can to make sure it's stillborn, even if I got to go up in you and rip it out my goddamn self. This is one of the most violent, disgusting text messages. This seems way too dark for these videos, even though it gets really weird and sick. This is a whole new level. You and your daddy is about the nastiest POS drug addict that ever walked this planet. You're probably sleeping with your daddy, and the truth, blah, blah, knowing it's your daddy, blah. You're carrying your child and sibling, I'm guessing that says. Oh my God, I can barely say half these words. What, do you do your daddy's for drugs? Like, do you sell yourself to your dad for drugs? Is that how you got pregnant? What the f***? This is generally some of the most degenerate stuff I've ever read in my life. Sometimes on Reddit, you come across things that you're just like, I actually can't believe people like that exist and are out in the real world. Like, this person needs to be in prison or in some sort of institution. This is sick, like sick. I really hope for the pregnant woman that she can get a restraining order and like this woman is out of her life forever. Because this isn't just like, I'm scared for your relationship with your family and your husband and all this kind of, like, this is like, I'm scared for your physical safety. If you ever get messages like ever even close to that, call the police. Oh my goodness. And that for once is legal advice. It really is. All right, let's hope for something less dark. Married son rejects his mum's gift of a cruise for two after realizing it was for him and her instead of his wife. I knew it. The second I saw cruise for two, it was like, of course it's going to be for the son and the mum. The family that I created are the only ones I care to bond with right now. Having a 1-year-old is a stressful time in any parent's life. So what new mum and dad wouldn't want to be gifted a cruise vacation to get some much needed relaxation? One dad on Reddit was excited to receive such a gift from his mum, at least until he realised this gift was not for him and his wife, but rather for him and his mother to bond. To leave the wife at home with a 1-year-old as well. After 9 months of pregnancy, being left with, okay, not quite a newborn, but you know what I mean. It's a baby still. And this is what I don't understand. Like, you're his mum. You remember what it would have been like having him as a 1-year-old, having been through the pregnancy, how difficult that was. Can you imagine how you would have felt if your mother-in-law took your husband away from you for a week. They must know, right? Like, they must know, and they must hate them. My mum absolutely knew that my marriage was falling apart, and she soaked it up, he admitted in his since deleted Reddit post. I was going to say, why aren't we just reading the Reddit post itself, but it's been deleted. All right, never mind. I found it on Web Archive. I went on the Wayback Machine and we've got it. So fast forward to 3 days ago. We had our daughter's first birthday party. I asked my wife if she cared if I invited my mum, and she said, of course, but I could tell she was worrying about it. The day goes by well. My mum doesn't show up until an hour later than the party. She doesn't say anything to anyone, goes and gets herself food that we hadn't started eating yet, and then she hands me a gift. Weird. Like, weird vibes instantly. You can already tell that there's a lot wrong. I go to put it on the table with our daughter's other gifts, and she tells me no, that it's for me. I was confused, but I open it, and it's a vacation for 2 on a cruise. I say something like, hell yeah, me and Clarke could definitely use an escape. And my mum looked offended and said, I got it for us. This was right in front of my wife and a few guests. I asked her why she would get her an IQs for 2, and she said to bond because we've lost touch since the baby was born. Again, how do you not remember what having a new baby is like? Of course, you're not going to have a bunch of time for bonding with your family when you're looking after a kid and juggling God knows what else. I guess I kind of lost it. The look on my wife's face was a mixture of hurt and disappointment. Probably assumed I would take my mum up on the offer. I'm assuming he didn't, so at least half a spine. Probably is a bit of a weakling, given she probably assumed not, but fine, he knows it's wrong. And she starts cleaning, something she does when she's stressed. So I told my mum that ever since Claire got pregnant, she's been weird, and it seems like she's doing everything in her power to destroy my marriage at this point. Good, he's confronting her as well, thank goodness. To get me and her a cruise on my daughter's birthday. Didn't get my kid anything either. How do you not care about your grandkid on her birthday? The first birthday as well. And present it in front of my wife. Knows what she's doing, by the way. It's just a slap in the face. I told her I wasn't going anywhere with her, and that right now I only care about being a good dad, stepdad, and husband. Finally! I mean, relatively bare minimum, but what a relief for like a guy to actually be like this in one of these. That the family I created are the only ones I care to bond with right now, and that her using her health scare in the beginning to manipulate me into catering to her and nearly losing my family made me lose respect. She just says, I just thought it'd be nice, starts crying and leaves. I feel absolutely nothing. But my sisters are telling me I'm done and I'm no longer their brother over this. Like, how is any rational woman sitting there going like, newborn mum, yes, you should have left her behind with your 1-year-old to go spend time with our mum for a bit. Like, I don't even think the mother-son one-on-one bonding time is even that weird. Like, I went to Tuscany with my mum a couple of years ago for just a bonding time. I'm one of loads of siblings, got a big family, but sometimes you need some time with your mum. But there's a time and a place. Other than work and a bit of travel, I had this summer off because I was at uni. That is an appropriate time to do something like that. Doing it where there's a 1-year-old and you're leaving someone to look after the 1-year-old as well. It's just, I can't believe people don't see it. The mother-in-law must see it, but must evidently not care and like hate the wife. But the sisters, just, it's perplexing, it really is. And you know what else is perplexing? How many people watch these videos to the end but don't hit subscribe? It's free, it only takes a second, and it means a lot to me in the channel. So if you wouldn't mind, please feel free to go down below and hit that subscribe button. Or if you're watching on TV, head over to the mobile app. That way you can catch the next installment of Mother-in-Laws from Hell and whatever I post next as soon as it comes out. Now you can either find some peace and quiet and take a moment to get over all of that, or go watch another one. Either way, thanks for watching. Bye.